last 3.5 years of living on this mountain homestead in northern Portugal, we've tackled an immense amount of work. Beyond building a home for our family, we've cleared 5 acres of abandoned farmland that had been left for 20 years.
That is pretty special.
The place was totally overgrown with brambles and bamboo.
Once we could see the wood for the trees, we started to re-landscape our ancient terraces, building walls, pathways, access points and gardens.
To both feed our bellies
and our souls. It hasn't all been easy. With an infestation of bamboo choking both sides of the farm, we've needed a lot of help. And we've had to make heartbreaking decisions.
The digger has made a big mess.
As we shift focus to the lowest and last undeveloped terrace on our land, we have a bamboo disaster that feels almost impossible to get on top of.
Our dream for this bottom terrace is to have a natural swimming pool that's a haven for us, the wildlife around us, and that acts as vital summer water storage for our farm's needs.
And also for keeping those gnarly wildfires in check.
There's a lot going on here, and today we get started with the bamboo battle and welcome a new arrival, which closes a circle that left us feeling pretty sad.
Gosh, sorry, I'm such a baby. I really hate cutting trees. So, my darling, what are we doing here?
Well, we're back here at Deer Plant. We've come to search out the perfect tree. If you've been following us for a while, you'll have remembered our olive tree transplant. We picked up a fully grown 300-year-old olive tree and put it in the middle of our driveway on the farm. That was Deer Plant that did that.
So Deer Plant are a local landscaping specialist and they specialise in this movement of big plants and trees. And they're super dedicated to their craft. They know their stuff better than anyone I've ever met and are just really passionate about making sure that all of these trees are transplanted properly, that they're given the very best start in their new home and that they're given the very best start here in their nurseries, which are kind of scattered all over our local area. So this particular one we've come to because they've got 2 different types of oak here. They've got the Portuguese native oak, which is the same as the one that we cut down. And they've also got red oaks. Now, I'll be honest, I've got my heart set on a red oak, but we'll talk you through the decisions. Okay, so here's the dilemma that we're going to put to Cloudia. We've got, as I say, those 2 options, Portuguese oak or a red oak. The kind of perfect poetic symmetry solution would be to get a Portuguese oak to replace the Portuguese oak that we cut down. It's a native species, it's the same species, and well, it's just neat, isn't it? That's a neat storyline. However, these red oaks are absolutely beautiful. Is it okay to go with something different, or should we be sticking with the native species that we cut down?
Oh, Claudia's calling.
Oh, Claudia's calling.
How you doing, dude?
How are you guys doing?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Here we are. Amazing.
So here we have red oak, Quercus coxina, the name, and Portuguese oak, Quercus robur. You took down, unfortunately, one of these.
So these are the red ones, obviously, and those are Portuguese ones, as you said. Now, we were talking last night about replacing it for a native species. In terms of, like, introducing a non-native species onto our farm, what are the pros and cons?
It depends on the species you choose.
Okay.
So this is an oak, so the genetics are all there.
Okay.
There is no issue at all introducing one of these because they happen to be planted 400 or 500 years ago.
Oh, okay,
and
cool.
they've been planting ever since. And so this kind of species don't interfere as much as others, and are full adapted to our weather conditions. It actually having more variety, not just the Portuguese oaks, and having a variety of different oaks actually promotes biodiversity because it can nest different kinds of birds, it can nest different kinds of species, and so technically there's no worries at all.
Okay.
These ones have these beautiful autumn colors, and they surpass by far the Portuguese oak. They turn red, and the leaves hold pretty much until when the next season starts, so before spring. Then you have the size of what one or another can go to, and I can show you in another nursery big oaks from both species.
Oh, great.
And you see that I really like the proportions that the Portuguese oak gets. So it's more shorter, rounder, and it has a sense of majestic sense almost. This is a more, say, upright tree with a more standard shape. It has this corky stem that I appreciate it a lot. And yet, basically, it's the difference between these two.
Okay.
At this time of the year, of course, you look at one and another, and you go straight away for this. But during the year, they're both really pretty species.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. So, have you made your choice, Lev?
Darling, I don't dare make a choice.
Rubbish.
Yeah, it's definitely a choice. You guys out there all know exactly what I mean, and you girls out there are all saying, go away, John, it's not like that at all. But you really know what I'm talking about. She says I should make the choice, but we all know if I make a choice, I'm in trouble. So we'll leave it up to you.
Okay. Well, I think I love this one. The red one.
Red.
This particular tree.
Okay. Yeah, you like a little bit of red, don't
I
you?
do, yeah. I do.
Yeah, good.
It's my vibe.
All right. Cool.
Alrighty, cool. So this one, please, Claudio.
Right,
Be
then.
fab.
Yeah, time to mark.
He's going to put his string on.
And when's the transplant date? I feel like Miss Doctor.
It's something to be discussed still. So
Okay.
I need to check the agenda for next week to see if next Saturday we can do it.
One of the things that I'm really starting to become more and more aware of with each and every visit to Deer Plant that we do is the massive variety, and it sounds so obvious to say something like this, but the massive variety of different kinds of shapes of trees. The different colour leaves, the different shapes of the trunks, the different heights, the different crowns, all of these different things that you can put into a garden to landscape it, to make it look truly, truly beautiful. And it sounds such an obvious thing. Of course, we all know that there's a whole different variety of trees out there: oaks, birches, willows, ash, elm, etc., etc. But it isn't really until you come to a place like this and you see them all lined up next to each other, with the opportunity to dig them up, pick them up and move them to your place, that you start to think, wow, you know, look at that tall one. That tall one, in my mind, I've got exact space where that would look beautiful. And then over here, you've got the different crown, the big bit at the top. It's all really interesting stuff.
Editing these videos for you guys every week, 2 of them every week, is a huge job. And John and I share that role. I know a lot of you think that I do all of the editing, but John plays a huge part of it. And finding editing software and editing tools that make that job quicker and more efficient is something that is really important to the success of our videos. And I know loads of you guys might be interested in learning to edit your own videos, either for a YouTube channel or just to keep your own memories kind of safe and in a beautiful format. Well, I've got the perfect thing for you with Wondershare Filmora 14. Filmora is an editing software that has some of the handiest, cleverest tools that I've come across of any editing software that we've used, especially their very, very smart AI features. When we're running through a timeline of video clips, like we're doing with this bit of content from last episode when we got the crane delivered to the farm, sometimes it can be a bit finicky to find the points at which you want to cut the clips. Filmora has the easiest cutting tool I've ever come across, but what really sets it apart for me are the AI features. Finding music to fit our videos can be really tedious, but it's also one of the most fun parts of our job. Filmora solves that problem with their AI music generator. You literally just need to tell it what genre you like, the kind of mood you're going for, what sort of feel you want for the music, and it comes up with a whole bunch of different options for you to choose from. We also like to try and add layers to our audio when we're editing our videos. It kind of brings it to life a bit more, and Filmora have an AI sound effects generator, which is pretty genius. In this clip, I'm trying to get a little bit of background bird sound to give the feeling of being here on the farm with us. Because sometimes the birds aren't chirping loud enough, even though they're always all around us, and as you guys know, often are louder than us. But the feature that's becoming most useful as we enter this phase of the new build is the AI voice enhancer. With so much background noise from the heavy machinery, to be able to remove the background noise and just highlight our voices makes it easier for you guys to hear us and just so much easier for us to edit. Have a look at the difference between these 2 clips.
Here it comes. Here it comes. Are you kidding me? Look at that, a crane is lifting the crane.
Anyway, Filmora is honestly the easiest editing software I've come across with all of these amazing features. It's the most affordable, and if you would like to give it a go for yourselves, then please use the unique link in our description below to download it and let us know what you're editing. We would love to hear all about it.
So we've picked a tree, a red oak tree, and we're going to be planting that a little bit later today. But first, we're going to head down towards the biopool terrace. And we've got a whole bunch of gardening and outside work to be getting on with down there before Mario comes again next week to finish off that staircase and move some rocks around and rebuild a wall. That's going to be pretty exciting. But first of all, let's get down to the biopool. Let's start working down there. We've got 2 hours, I think, before Cloudia turns up with the oak tree. I can't wait to watch that go into place.
So, Claudia's going to come and put a big oak tree.
What he said. Right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, we need the wheelbarrow, number 1.
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
Okay, all right. You've got to jump in. Can you get in? Come in. All right, Joel's with us. Joel, are you pushing the wheelbarrow? Okay, I'll do it. Yeah,
Push it.
Push it. Let's go. Take that, boys, please. Thank you very much. That's called a crowbar. There we go. That's exactly what that means. Let's go. Take some tools from the Hobbit house. It is only 1 year ago, actually, that we were finishing this Hobbit house off. Christmas last year. It was a project that was almost coming to conclusion. We were talking at that time about building a James Bond house here. That would be cool. Maybe still to come. Let's see. Let's take that. Mario is coming next week to lift these huge rocks, and we're going to be rebuilding a wall down near the bio terrace as well.
It's going to be all hands on deck today. The boys have got their tools, Joel's got his tools, and I'm off in hunt of a budzer from the building site. A budzer is a hoe, for those of you who are new around here. And we're going to go and tackle that terrace. I'm so looking forward to seeing those walls get uncovered. Slightly overwhelmed by the bamboo situation down there because it is extensive. But we've got to make a start, right? If we don't make a start, we're never going to know. And if we don't know, then we won't be able to make that terrace the best it possibly can be. But the oak tree is going at the back here behind the olive trees. So I'm really hoping there aren't going to be any access issues for Cloudia and his team. It's not a very big tree. So worst case scenario, they're going to take it off the truck and we'll have to carry it into place. But yeah, let's see how it goes.
Are you ready, buddy? Look at that. Well done. Right, let's go.
Okay, so plan down here this morning is to first of all clean these walls so that we can get a real sense of what they look like and what we're working with in time for Mario to come back to build the walls on either side of the staircase. We also then need to start trying to lift some of this bamboo and making at least a dent in it without the digger and taking whatever we're lifting to a fire that we're going to use to obviously burn it and get rid of it. And then in a couple of hours, Cloudia is going to come to plant that oak tree that we chose. So it's all happening today and it's very exciting, something different. I'm looking forward to being outside all day and kind of, you know, getting stuck in with some wrestling of plants.
So far, we've dug up, with the help of Mario and a budzer, this pile of bamboo. That's going to be the fire starter, if you like. There is a whole terrace of bamboo over there, but the bamboo roots and the stems actually extend all the way across the entire terrace. It's literally like a veins of bamboo going everywhere, blood vessels, whatever. It's sprouting up all over the place. Look here, there's bamboo. There's roots here. Look, there's roots going all the way under. Where's the...
Like off the terrace going into the forest.
Yeah, look at this. All the way over the other side of the terrace.
Do you want to know where the furthest one is? Look here. Underneath.
The furthest bamboo coming all the way over here. So underneath our feet where we're walking at the moment, there are roots of bamboo and it's all got to go. Shame, man.
Yeah, like it's everywhere. that means that there's a route that's running from this side of the biopool all the way across.
So let's get on with it. Let's start digging. Let's do what we can with the wall today. See whether we can clean that up and make it look a bit fancier. There's that L shape. I think that L bracket that can go as well. The
last upright for the grapes.
last upright for the grapes. And then when Mario comes next week, hopefully he'll have some time to dig in the rest of the biopool so that we can start putting and thinking about putting that rubber membrane in there, get some water in it, and he can also have a good go at digging out that bamboo.
The thing I'm most excited about today, apart from obviously the oak tree coming, is pruning that plum.
Yeah, that's true. That's a cherry plum over there, everybody, and it's a blooming good one too.
Yeah, but it has got very unruly. It looks like my hair in the morning.
You don't want to know what that looks like. Okay, or maybe you do. I don't know. Okay, okay. Let's go and get on with some work, shall we? Thanks for being here, folks. It's always great to have you on site.
Joel's over there getting a fire ready for the bamboo, so we can probably start moving stuff across shortly.
All right, Crusoe. There's one. You go throw that on the fire. Well done. Take that over. How's it going, Joel?
One bit of grass.
Is Mario to come along with his bucket and just dig all the way along the front there, because we've got bamboo roots making their way all the way along the bottom of that wall. Mario just comes and rips them out. Hopefully he can do it without breaking the wall. We'll see. He's here next week, isn't he?
So the other thing that is going to happen when Claudio gets here with the oak tree is he's going to have a quick walk around the farm with us to help us understand a little bit more about what our kind of landscaping opportunities could be around the farm. So he's going to have some really, really cool ideas and some really fun concepts for us to think about and for us to explore. And we're just looking forward to working with Deer Plant on the whole project. So yeah, watch this space. There's lots to come. It looks amazing. Well, what have we got achieved today? Joel's lit a fire and he started burning bamboo, and we've cleaned this wall. Right, I've left John tackling that wall. He's having way too much fun and doesn't really want to leave. So we'll let him do it for as long as we possibly can. I've just come up here to have a look at the hole that Mario dug for us quite some weeks ago now. It was when he was doing the last of the clearing of the house excavations. We asked him to just quickly put a hole where we want this tree so that Cloudia didn't have to bring a digger. In time, when it grows into a beautiful big oak tree, we will have a little bit more privacy from our neighbours, who we love. They're great neighbours. But it's always nice to feel like you have got the place to yourself, isn't it? So that was the idea, is that the view, if you look, I hope you can get your bearings all right, but there's where the big house is going. This is where the tree's going, and we're hoping that it's going to kind of fill that view for us, which would be lovely. Here they come. How amazing. I imagine that was a lot less stressful than when they brought the big olive tree, which is great. They come. Hola, buen dia. It's time that John and Joelle come up here, because I think we're going to need to disconnect water pipes, we're going to need to move the cars, and we're going to need to move some pot plants and things and get everything out of the way so that they can drive the car up to the hole, or the truck. They can drive the truck up to the hole.
Time to go and plant a tree.
I'm coming.
Come on, Crusoe, quick sticks.
The tree's going in. Cloudia!
I love and I'm so grateful for all the incredible people who've come into our world since we got to Portugal and who've become such a big part of the boys' world and our world, and they're so great with the kids and the kids love them, you know. And it's just so nice to see Crusoe running down here going, Claudio! You know, they'd be so excited. Claudia's coming today. It's very special. Right, Claudio's arrived, everybody. He's back. This is so exciting.
Brilliant. How exciting.
There we go, chaps. It's in. It's anchored. It's ready for its new life and its forever home. And the guys have decided it's time to head off. We've wished them a happy Christmas. We'll see them next year. Ciao, obrigada. So cool. Deer plant days are the best days.
They are the best days. And if you remember, when we chopped down that other tree, that big tree, you and I, we were both talking about being tree huggers.
Yeah. Do we need to go and hug this tree?
Yeah,
Crusoe, go give the tree a big hug.
Let's hug the tree. Oh, can you hug the tree? Oh,
John loves a good tree
there
hug.
we go. That's it, Crusoe.
He just wants to be in the mud.
He just wants to play
Right,
in the
so
mud.
should we go take Claudio for a quick walk around the farm, show him the building site, because he hasn't seen that since the last time he was here,
That's it.
and get your thoughts on what we can do to make it even more magical.
Let's see it.
Great. Over campers. I would really love to get Claudio's thoughts on the front of the house.
Okay.
Like what it's going to be like coming down the front here. And also down to that bio pool to have a look at what we're doing down there and see what you think of that kind of more wetland area. This for me is a really precious tree. That big
It's
one.
a native. It's called Celtis australis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Native one. And the birds love it. You see that fruit?
Yeah.
You don't see birds going around all
Yeah.
year. Yeah. The big pine tried to, let's say, try to save it. Although, even though it's not at the appropriate measurement. This is because if it was a native forest, or if it was over there, that'd be fine. But here you're talking about the trees that are going to be living next to your house. And so you want to avoid as much as possible having branches falling over, or even the tree falling over in winter time. So we need to be very careful.
This is super helpful and super interesting because you know what I'm like, especially, and John, about cutting trees. Pathetic. Hate doing it. But I've known that more of these trees around the house are going to need to go. So it's really, really interesting to hear Claudio's perspective because it all makes complete sense. These two oaks are blocking the view from what is going to be the kitchen, which seems like a frivolous reason to cut a tree to me. But Claudio also says this one is at risk of falling because of its location next to this rock. And also they're not actually doing very well. So they're not thriving. There's no point in keeping them if they're not thriving, right? He's then also looking at that beautiful cork oak that we've got there behind us, which is a protected tree in Portugal. You're not allowed to cut them. They're very, very precious and they grow big and beautiful if you look after them. So Cloudia is saying the 2 oaks behind it really should come down to give that the space and lack of competition to really, really thrive. And then the pine trees, which are really close to the house, definitely the middle one needs to go, and the top one, the big one, just needs to be pruned all the way up its stem so that it grows a great big crown, but doesn't have lots of branches coming off its sides that compete with the oaks. That'll keep you busy.
That'll keep me busy, yeah. I tell you what we should do. We should do that before Mario comes to take the logs away to the sawmill.
Well, there you have it, folks. That has been truly insightful. What a day. You know, we got a little bit of work done on that terrace at the bottom. Sawyer's off to get another orange. A little bit of work done on our lower terrace at the biopool. Some amazing advice from Cloudia about how to landscape that terrace, as well as some key advice on what to do with all of these trees. Anyway, I think it's got to be done, you know. I think it's got to be done. So watch this space. We'll see. We might do it slowly so it's not such a shock. Or we might just decide, right, today's the day we're taking them all out. I think he's, you know, Cloudia is the expert. He knows, and there's some really special species. I can't remember what he said this one was called, but this beautiful big one here behind us by the crane, he said is a native species, but it's not all that common. So he's like, take special care of it. So by taking some of the others away from it, now that it's established in Bing, he was saying when they're younger, you want lots of trees together to protect them from the wind. But once they're older and established, you can kind of, you know, you need to look after them, making sure their crown is free of competition and stuff. So looking after that one, and of course our very, very special cork oak, which, if given the chance, will be truly a magnificent feature of the front of this house. Wow, this property is turning into something that I could never, ever have imagined. It's quite incredible. So thank you guys for being a part of it. If you've enjoyed the video, please remember to hit a thumbs up, leave us a comment, let us know what you thought. Tell us what you think about all these trees going. I think so many of you are with me in terms of feeling the pain of it, but I hope you can see the benefit and the beauty of it as well. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you for being here as always, and ciao for now. Right, so I'm going to lift you out and put you back in again, okay?